Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the greatness of Hot Springs Village, Arkansas and the surrounding areas. People, places, experiences. Hot Springs Village is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and my co-host Dennis Simpson as we engage in weekly conversations to explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Today's show is brought to you by Central Arkansas's favorite radio station, KVRE. Find them on the dial at 92.9 FM. Stream them live at kvre.com. RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village. The award-winning RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village is the largest real estate office inside the village with over 30 full-time agents and support staff. Visit them to learn more about this beautiful place to solve your real estate needs. Call them today at 1-800-364-9007. Find them online at explorehsv.com. They are RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village at 1-800-364-9007 or online at explorehsv.com. Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ike and his award-winning team have been serving the insurance needs of folks all around Hot Springs Village since 1998. Ike has qualified for State Farm's President's Club, Chairman's Circle, and Hot Springs Village Insurance Agent of the Year. Call Ike Eisenhower State Farm today at 501-984-4100. That's 501-984-4100. Find them online at ikeeisenhower.net. Call them today for all your insurance needs because, like a good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower State Farm is there.
Dennis Simpson here again with Mr. Todd Knowles. Todd, who's got a different hat on these days? You're doing that whole street superintendent thing, right?
Hey, I am, Dennis. I am. I'm the street superintendent, sanitation superintendent also. But yeah, I'm the street superintendent. We've been working on some streets, trying to get some things caught up that's been, that we had problems with.
So, we had talked with Ken a few weeks ago, and excuse me, he had given the example that you were talking about where the super pave would literally come up from the other pavement. What's super pave? What are we doing? How are we fixing it? What's going on, and what's the longer term solution? Now, in particular, I'm thinking about there's areas here on DeSoto on the west end that are issue. Man, they're over by Pizarro and Macero. That was a mess, and we had to repave the whole thing. What's going on there, and how do we do that?
Well, super pave is a type of pavement that's got very, very little and very small aggregate to it. And by aggregate, I mean the material inside when they make the asphalt, the little gravel. So in super pave, years ago, the village done that. The POA put down super pave simply because of the cost. You get more for the price. That's not always the best. With super pave, you put it an inch, you lay it 1 inch thick, and you roll it down to a 3/4 inch overlay. So you got a 3/4 inch overlay is all you got. It drives smooth. It looks pretty for a while. Then
it seals the top of the asphalt. There's no more water occlusion. There's for the while.
Right. It's just like an
it stabilizes things, right?
It does for a little while, but it goes to breaking down, and we found that out, especially on DeSoto Boulevard where we've got lots of traffic. Now, during the cold snap that we had, after the snow and ice, when it got so cold and it froze that moisture under that, and then it rethawed, then we started having potholes everywhere in our super pave. Now, our super pave, you got to realize, like I said, they lay that, they pack it, so you've got a 3/4 inch overlay, and you try to patch that with cold patch. Cold patch is made for regular asphalt. That's your deeper potholes, and it won't stay. So we've got some stuff that we mix up that's a liquid called flow mix. But there was so many of them down in this one area that you were alluding to, down around Ponce, down to Diamante, on toward Pizarro, that it was just, you'd fix one here. Tomorrow you have another one next to it. Now I'll give you an example of how that was. We went down there, and of course you've got to take a blower, hand blower, and you clean out the pothole before you patch it. Well, you could blow that pothole and the whole asphalt would raise up. There was nothing, hardly no tack under it, say, to keep it at heat, together with the original asphalt. It would just come up. So we milled it up. We took milling it, we grinded it up all the way down, and we done an overlay on that. We put an overlay on it, and with a 2.5, I think it was 2.5 inch on the edge, 3 inch in the middle, make sure it was crowned, water run off of it, and we done an overlay with that. And it turned out real good. I stayed out there, I inspected it, taking temperatures of the asphalt, making sure that that there wasn't any deformities in it when they were laying it. And we got a rolling pattern together. We took a compaction test on it. The lab come out, Granford's lab come out. They took a compaction test. We had 93% compaction with a roller to make sure that the asphalt was laid properly and it was compacted properly. And then we had them come out and stripe it. And man, we've got some new asphalt down there now. It drives good.
It's beautiful. It really is. I just want to give the analogy. Behind me, there is a patio, little porch out here, right? And in my mind, this is how I see super pave. Okay, if I've let my wood go unmaintained for a while and it begins to look a little rough, they have a product that like restore or renew, and it will literally envelop and encapsulate that wood, and it will keep it from getting any worse. But I still got to replace that wood someday, right?
Right. And I'll tell you
that's kind of what super pave did.
Yeah, I've been here a long time, and I've heard people use the analogy. Well, it'll hold up till I'm gone. Well, they were old. They're gone. I was young. Now I'm old.
Once again, we're those old guys, Todd. We're those old guys.
Yeah. So, and it did hold up till they're gone. But now we've got a bunch of it popping up, so we're having to redo it. But we're redoing it right. We're not just going in and putting some kind of filler like it was done before. We're actually milling the asphalt up, the old stuff, and getting down to good asphalt and fixing anything that's below. We mill down 2 inches, and you see a soft spot and a rotten place there, cut it out and fix it before you. It's kind of like I heard somebody say one time when you were paving some of these roads that the culverts were falling in and was rusted out and were no good. They said, it's kind of like building $1 million house on a 5-cent foundation. That's kind of what that is. You're putting this asphalt down, but you hadn't got anything under it. So, but we done that, and man, that turned out great. We've got some more areas. We're going to try to put some. They got that stuff that we call scrub seal, fog seal.
So say that again.
It's called scrub seal or / fog seal.
Yeah.
It's a type of protectant, and we can put on some of our asphalt to restore, get a little bit more restoration out of it. We're going to try to do that some this year. And also a microsurface type of material that you can put on to try to save some of your asphalt. There's some ways that we can get caught up, and it's going to take us a while, but to get caught up on some of the stuff that hadn't really been maintained as much.
Well, you only got 500 miles of it to keep up, right?
Yeah, that's just 500 miles. That ought to take a day or two.
No, like I'm expecting later this month. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So
everybody's got their own setup, period, place of interest. Okay, and I've got mine. All right, and everybody thinking, well, it's your driveway. It's your no. Right down here behind me on Lake DeSoto, there is a dusty road that goes out to the end of the beach, and it ain't dusty no more because of my friend, Mr. Todd. Tell me what we've done, buddy.
Well, see, number one, with Matt, Ken, and Kelly, our leadership, people need to thank them because they're allowing us to finally fix things right, instead of just patching it. So, as I said before, we milled up the asphalt, and we got lots and lots of millings. We keep those millings and we use them. And that's what we've done on the DeSoto Beach Road. We put millings out there. We put millings and what that is ground up asphalt. and it acts as asphalt. It packs down over time. And we put some at the Grove Park. If you go through, you'll see some there at Grove Park. We use them all throughout the village. All of our lake parking lots now, every lake that we've got at the boat ramps, every parking lot we've got now have had millings placed on them. And it cuts down on your dust. It helps with your traction. It helps with your erosion. It's kind of like overlaying all this stuff without having to spend anything really. I mean, because we've got it in stock.
And many times years ago, we'd pile it up, throw it away, or just leave it sit and
Yeah,
let it go
yeah,
bad or whatever.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
actually thinking though, Todd, and for the customer, the people that don't know, I want to just fill them in on a little something because it's just clicking to me. You're taking tailings or trim, grindings that you've gotten from the road. You're taking them
Hmm.
down and putting them on the dam. Now, what would you know about how to treat a dam? I don't. Oh, that's right. You used to be in charge of that. That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
would you know about what kind of particulates you can let go into the lake? Oh, that's right. You were in charge of lake. You've been
Right.
everywhere, man.
I have. Hey, but it's a you learn as you go. I've learned a lot of things. Maybe it'll allow me to stay around for another year or two.
Another couple of days. Well, tell me what's
Yeah.
next. What are we paving next? What's the master plan?
Well, right now we're working on we're going to do some of our road cuts. We've got one here on Coronado Drive that we had to replace the culvert on. We got one on Carmona, and we're going to cut some of that out and pave that. But as far as our big overlay and paving projects, right now we're going to work on this fog seal, scrub seal, and microsurfacing, and maybe we won't have to do much of that this year. We're working to get a plan together for next year to get some streets maybe to overlay. Uh, and that's basically what we're doing. We're just right now we're replacing a bunch of culverts. We want to get the culverts all replaced and make sure they've got good culverts and a good bottom before we ever spend money on putting down asphalt.
Well, and I
And
knew that we'd
so
been
we're
working
doing
on the
that.
culverts. We had that relining program for a long
Hmm.
time, and Ken had masterminded that. God love him, and magnificent. That said, so I guess what I'm getting at is the major paving for the year has kind of been done because we've got that part of DeSoto done, and then we're just looking at what we'll do next year, maybe.
Right, yeah, yeah. And mainly right now we're worried about, we're focusing more on our culverts. Hey, I'll tell you what, we've got a great big project coming up that's been put off for years. I remember probably 15 years ago, we were supposed to have replaced these and we didn't replace them. They went in and they put some little steel pillars holding the road up and stuff. It's been just kind of rigged up. But right before if you turn off DeSoto on Carmona, right before you get to where Deborah's restaurant is, you
Sure.
know where Deborah's is, I know, because we've ate there several times.
Twice a week, usually three times on Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. And so there's like four or five 60 to 70 inch culverts in there.
I've seen those. They're enormous.
They're enormous, and it's going to be a huge project, and I think we can do it in house, but we're going to have to rip all that out and put in some box culverts probably. And that's going to be a huge project, but it's something that's going to have to be done. That road's starting to dip there; those culverts are starting to give away, and they've been doing that for Man, they've been doing that for 15, 16
I was
years.
about to say at least 10 years that I know of.
Yeah, and they just keep going in. In the past, they just keep going in and they'll just add something to it and just temporarily add something to it. And so Ken, I've talked to him and like I said, we're so blessed to have somebody like Ken and them in here that actually want to fix something instead of just put something up temporarily. So we're going to probably go in there and take that out and put in maybe some box culverts in there to where it'll be fixed from now on and it'll be fixed properly.
Now, box culverts are, if I'm not mistaken, this is the big concrete box like they use
Right.
on interstates and stuff, and it does
Hmm.
not fit. It does not. In 50 years, it won't sag a little. It's still there, right?
It's there, yeah. It's there from now on. It's they're huge boxes is what they are, preformed or prefab concrete uh boxes that you put in. And basically what it is like a great big concrete bridge will be what what it'll be like. But that creek is so big and the flows that, so huge that, it's probably going to be better to use those box culverts than try to put in 60, 70-inch culverts again. I think it's got 4 or 5 in there right now. 2 of them's not even working, and the rest of them have rusted. The bottom's rusted out of them. It's just, and it's something that we're going to probably do this year sometime. But it's just another big project we got coming up.
Well, and we got to wrap it up here again, as time always catches us, Todd. You and I could talk for a while. Who knew, right?
Hey, that's right. We could.
But I want you to address. Yeah, exactly. I want you to address one other thing for me, real quick.
All right.
When you talk about Ken, and I love Jason, I love Ken. These are fantastic people and smart people. But when the boss man says we're going to fix it right, I want you to tell me what the average guy holding a shovel in his hand that works for that guy says in his mind. It changes his attitude, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And it makes them think, you know what? This guy right here is the one I want to work with. But he wants to fix it right.
We've all worked for somebody who just wanted to patch it for now and move on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you stay around long enough, 3 or 4 years, by golly, if we're not here again with the same shovel doing the same steely job again, right?
Right. Matt's over me now. And I love, what I think of Matt. I love Matt. Matt is just he's great. But as far as public service director, I've been here for 27 years. And I'll tell you something, Dennis. I'll be straight up with you. Ken's the best man I ever worked for.
Really?
Best man I ever worked for. Sure is.
No.
Hey, you can put that on record. Todd Knowles said that.
and you know where you stand with him too, right?
That's right. You do. And he I mean, if you need something, he get it for you. And Kelly, if you need something, get it done, Kelly, get it for you. It's such a change, man, and it's just
it is. Well,
it's such a change in morality.
And part of it is, Todd. Look, there are times, I get it. There are times when necessity says we can't do that now, but there are also times when it just can't be waited. You can't wait anymore. It's going to be wildly counterproductive. And I get it. As a guy who runs businesses, I've had to tell my people sometimes, look, we can't fix that right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Time constraints, whatever, money at the whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Not all resources are infinite, but the time comes to pay that bill, and you need to have somebody in the chair that goes, I'll pay that bill. We're going to invest in the future. And that's what you got with Kelly and Ken both, and with my friend, Mr. Todd, too.
Yeah. Well, hey, I can't leave Matt out. I love Matt to death, Dennis. You know that.
Yeah. Hardworking guy. Hey, listen, buddy, we will talk to you next time. Todd, pleasure, as always, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, buddy.
See you, buddy. Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks for watching and listening to Hot Springs Village Inside Out, a weekly podcast starring Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Visit the website at hotspringsvillageinsideout.com.